So this is the video on basically how to plan a comparison for those winter Sundays and yesterday. So obviously I want to go back to my Google Doc where I've got the two unseen poems. Obviously I've already highlighted and annotated yesterday. Now I'm going to do the same thing about those winter Sundays. Now I've already highlighted important bits in the start of the question. So obviously, I highlighted the relationship between a parent and child and its effect on you. Now, my key word here is going to be my compare. So I'm just going to add that in as well. Okay, so read, highlight keys, words and phrases. I know what the focus is. Okay, so this one a little bit shorter. Those winter Sundays. Sundays too, my father got up early and put his clothes on in the black cold, and then with cracked hands that ached from labour in the weekday weather made banked fires blaze. No one ever thanked him. I'd wake and hear the cold splintering, breaking. When the rooms were warm, he'd call, and slowly I would rise and dress, fearing the chronic angers of that house. Speaking indifferently to him, who had driven out the cold and polished my good shoes as well, what did I know? What did I know of love's austere and lonely offices? Okay, well, I've noticed something right away. I've noticed that we've got imagery of shoe polishing as well. Okay, so that's really interesting. That's a comparison I'm definitely going to be able to make, because in the first poem, if I remember, I've actually had something about rubbing the polish into my shoes. So although I didn't talk about it the first time, I might actually make that comparison when I do my answer. Okay, so this also is one that's reflecting on the past, because we've got past tense. So I'm going to highlight that bit there. No one ever thanked him. That's definitely something I could comment on. When the rooms he'd call, slowly I would rise and dress, fearing the chronic angers of that house. Oh, that suggests that they've got actually a bit of a difficult relationship. In fact, actually, I'm just going to do chronic angers. That suggests something a little bit interesting to talk about. And then towards the bottom, what did I know? What did I know of love's austere and lonely offices? Okay, right, that's really interesting. I'm going to highlight all of that. I might not use all of it in my actual answer, but I'm going to highlight all of that. So actually now, if I just look back to remind myself, annotate the events. Okay, so again, I'm just going to comment on that. So past tense. Now, the second part of planning is about comparisons. Now, obviously, if you notice them as you're annotating, add them in. It would be silly not to. So past tense, like yesterday's. In fact, I'm just going to put like why. Okay, my father got up early, and it's but this one is a child reflecting on the relationship, and why was a parent reflecting on the relationship. Okay, so there's definitely something I can think about there. No one ever thanked him. That's really interesting. That suggests almost some kind of difficulty in the relationship. Well, that's when younger, so that is unlike why, where actually the young child parent and parent relationship seemed positive. So that's interesting. Now this chronic angers, okay, well actually that's quite a shift in tone, isn't it? This is kind of definite negative tone about the past, unlike why, which positively reflects on love in past. Here, I'm just going to refer to TWS as those winter Sundays. Here suggests fear and anger in the parent and child relationship. Okay, lovely. Here, polished my shoes as well. So actually, we've got the same imagery as why in polishing shoes. Both parents care for children. And actually, I'm going to put perhaps, because remember that tentative language is fine, perhaps in the winter Sundays, the love is not so clear, but he does get up and make sure the house is warm and polish shoes. Maybe it's a more kind of traditional, sort of old school, old age kind of harsher relationship. And actually, those tentative things are absolutely fine to focus on. Okay, so good. And actually, what I could do there is actually, I'm just going to make sure that's commented on as well. What I could do here is just think about what did I know? Well, actually, we've got a repeated question, perhaps showing the child, the now grown up child, isn't it? A now grown up child recognizes they didn't understand the relationship was as good as it was. Okay, so I've got a few bits there. Okay, so obviously you can use that not just to help you with your planning, but actually you could help that for some ideas to help you write your answer.